Hello YouTube, Math here, and welcome back to Dark Souls 3. As you can see, I got a recent facelift, inspired by the Viking spirit of the new DLC. I decided to equip the armor, which I was able to buy due to the fancy Captain's Ash, which I guess I've already turned in, so I'm not going to have there. It is like a fairly heavy armor set. As you can see here, with a description that we've really seen before. When the fabled Millwood Forest was discovered, it was a vacant ruin. The only thing left was the ethereal oak stood rotting. No corpses were discovered, yet their belongings lay neatly on the ground. I've also gone ahead and equipped the shield and the axe, and taken a little bit of time to level them up, use the axe with heavy. Which brings me to my next point, which is going to be, I've also taken the time to respec a character so that I could play with these things. I needed quite a bit more vitality, and 40 strength made a ton of sense. So we've kind of left behind our assassin ways and dove down the path of the Viking. I think our pale skin is pretty interesting in this. We're very Ulrich-esque in our attire now. You may remember the spot that we're in. This is where the two rather nasty archer guys were located earlier. I've already dispatched them. Primarily killed enemies along the way, but I certainly left a few things alive. This guy was snoozing, I just sort of ran past him. But we came up. Let's situate ourselves for the sake of the viewing audience. The area starts over there. That's where we fell down a ledge, came out into this big central area, fight a ton of wolves, move on. Yep, and there's several of them there. Move on and circle around this ledge where we went out. There's a large tower that we scaled to the top of. Quite a few Vikings in that area. And then we came up and around here. A bunch of evil trees. Killed all the evil trees. And then last time there were items there. I believe that's where the bow was located. Also, fancy bow. Millwood great bow that I just accidentally unequipped. There we go. It is said that the Millwood Knights used these to face their sworn enemy, the Abyss Dragon. That feels a little foreboding, certainly. It's a real fancy bow, though, which was being guarded by the two archers there. Last time we just grabbed it, jumped off, and then, I homeward boned out of here. This time, though, let's look around a little bit. Bunch of wolf corpses, so that looks like a pretty one-way drop. So I'm fairly convinced I know the way forward, which is going to be back a little bit the way we came, towards that tower that's right there in the distance. And then instead of curving up and around and going this way, I think we want to keep pressing out a little bit, and that there's another path over here. Yeah, maybe another couple of paths even. I'm totally being shot at. I didn't climb the tower and kill those guys this time. Now, it's a really terrifying outcropping stone over there. I think last time I came over here. Oh, okay, this is not, in fact, a path. Well, that's good to know. Is there anything? This feels like there might be an item hiding back here. What? You? Pillage remains. Blessed gem. Indeed, there was an item hiding back here. Okay. Now that stuff is real interesting. We've sort of seen the sort of bloody vein material was on the ground at the start of the area. There's definitely something going on corrupting this space. Interesting that we'd find a blessed gem right next to it. Okay. So, we went in one of these directions and it caused a really large white wolf to spawn. I kind of ran from him and fought his little friends, and I don't really know what happened to him. He despawned, or... Oh, or he's right there. Okay. I don't really know what happened to him. He seemed to, like, either despawn or he pathfinding got lost or something of that nature. I do think I'm gonna kind of end up doing the same thing again, though, because I can't imagine wanting to fight him while also fending off, like, all the little wolves around him. Oh, great. Or, in fact, the giant arrows. Neither of those sound like good ideas. That was him despawning. Right? Is that not what just happened? He dashed and, like, kind of exploded into frost. Okay. So, I'm not sure what causes that. Like, if you get so far away, that would seem to make the most sense, right? That we just aren't allowed... Oh man, there's more of you guys than I thought. And you're hitting a little bit harder than I would like. Perhaps you aren't allowed to lure him too far away from his spawning location. That would make the most sense as to what I just witnessed. You'll notice that there are still enemies back over there, which made that not such a great idea to run towards. I did not bother fighting most of these Millwood Viking men. Now, I swear, I looked at that and was like, that's a really creepy outcropping, but I did not see Mr. Wolfman atop it. But that's clearly where he came from. Did you spot Mr. Wolfman? Did I, like, just miss him, or was he not there when I first looked? It certainly seems that that was a trap. Oh, man, but I barely landed on that ledge of. Wow. It certainly seems that that was like a constructed encounter, though, right? That you're meant to see him briefly, probably run away, and then he's to despawn. Is he going to become like a recurring adversary throughout the area? It's a little hard to tell, you know, the difference between all of the wolves, but he's got like a scarred muzzle that is fairly distinctive. And we did fight him in the large open area, and I think I recall at the time stating that it didn't seem like I killed him, or that his health bar was only about halfway down, and then, you know, frantic camera angles, 1 second he was there, 1 second he wasn't. And I'm guessing that he despawned then as well. He's just sort of meant to be, I don't know, sort of harrying us in a direction, perhaps? Are we being hunted by the wolves or their masters? This is a... I feel like I'm circling back around in the area I came, but this does not look like familiar territory. It is fairly creepy territory, though. I will give it that much. Often impressive what From Software can do to build tension. You know, a game with no backing soundtrack or anything like that. One thing I just noticed and want to point out, the Ethereal Oak Shield is giving me a slow HP regen, which is quite nice. And that's why I'm not really bothering to Estus, as we've got this slow trek somewhere. Bloodborne, I think, was, you know, certainly the most in-your-face example of that, where From Software really kind of tackles a more horror-inspired genre. That's real interesting. Is this where... Okay, I've been here. I have been here. This is the branching path earlier. I don't remember that corpse being quite so obvious in its presentation. But this is the spot that I'm talking about. There's those, like, flies, or... Because I had recently watched, Black Mirror bees that are over there. Man, that has got... Does it follow gravity? Or... Man, it's just got major range. Alright. Okay, so I know where we are. This is going to loop us back to like the start of the area. So let's try the other branch in this path. No pun intended. What with our branch-like enemies over there? It came from there. We're going this way. And anything gonna try to murder me? I just need to watch a dozen different sides at all times, and nothing will sneak up on me. Okay, interesting. Did I... Hold on. I must have imagined it. Okay, right there. Looked like there was an item, but it's just the way the light reflects off that rock. From back here, I thought there was an item over there. Okay. Nothing wanting to murder me. I'm pro nothing wanting to murder me. Ooh, I'm also pro bonfire. Okay. We weren't that far when I, like a little coward man, decided to turn tail and run. Ooh, that's some deafening silence once you get out of the wind. Alright. A few Estus flasks. Not enough souls for me to really worry about getting back. An interesting bonfire location. Like a very classic, you know, this is a respite from the cold. You get a bonfire inside a cave. I wonder what that does. Well, I was thinking about the Mr. Wolfman, if that respawns him, but we're very far away. We'd have to head back through the trees and drop down again and run all the way around. That's unlikely to be convenient. Let's instead check out our very intimidating bridge. Now, the Painted World, right? We haven't spent a lot of time talking about the Painted World, but in its original introduction in Dark Souls 1, there was a bridge back to somewhere, but that bridge was broken. And, you know, the painting itself was more or less a painting of, like, an inviting bridge leading to a location. You kind of spawn on it in a situation not unlike this, just about halfway down the bridge. Turning back, you find that ooh, and I'm glad I did turn back. The boards beneath you, behind you, have all gone away, and it's just sort of the rope suspension, so you can't head back along it. Okay. I totally would have missed this ladder if not for that. Got a crystal lizard, I think perhaps. Alright. We'll focus first on Mr. Crystal Lizard. Oh no. Come back here. Back here. Gotcha. Kind of disappointing, to be perfectly honest. Large Titanite, considering our late stage in the game. But I'm getting quite a few Titanite shards and the occasional large Titanite down here. Just a little weird. I blew several 100,000 souls getting the equipment that I'm wearing right now all the way leveled up. Chunks and Twinkling Titanite are not cheap. They're not cheap even a little. Now, is this also leading back to the starting area or somewhere different? I know these guys, the torch wielders breathe fire in a very circus performer trick style. Yeah, kind of like that. They're not too bad. Not very tanky anyway. Huh. Okay. Oh, okay. Now, I did see a view from one of the cliffs, but it would be like over there, looking back this way. A fairly like long building. It had to be that one. It reminded me of the Cathedral of the Deep when I saw it. Very long, church-like. Anybody else think that that's going to be a one-way trip? Because I sort of do. Huh. Well, I thought this was going to be just like a minor distraction that you could easily miss climb down a ladder and, you know, get like a titanite lizard, but... or a crystal lizard, rather. But in fact, it seems to be stretching on into its own area. Weird. Even its own area that... ooh, that kind of looks bigger than the area I was heading up to. Yeah, that's definitely the building I saw the side of. Okay, more of these guys. Thank you for coming down. That was nice. 855, man. The 40 strength with a heavy battle axe is no joke. No joke. Okay, so now we definitely see it. Both the sort of chitinous growth as well as this kind of bloody worm or vein infested something, definitely connected to the spider, or not the spiders, the flies, the bee flies that we saw earlier. I don't remember the earlier outcropping having so much of the chitinous appearance, but it had still that red, bloody vein thing going on. So what do you think? Do we go up or do we go down? I'm kind of thinking up. Like, down sort of feels bigger. And there's that one-way drop. And I'm not a huge fan of one-way drops in video games or probably in real life. I think if I saw something like that, you know, if I'm realistically the guy running around... oh, that creaking sound worried me quite a bit. If I'm realistically the guy running around doing all this and I see like, oh, well, that's clearly a one-way ice slide, I think I'm going to pass. I think I'm probably going to pass. Let's try to spend as little time on this bridge as possible. Now, we have seen bridges. Okay. Now, I'm not going to say that I didn't expect something to happen, but I didn't expect that to happen. I was about to say, we have seen long bridges that we could chop down before. And so what I expected was I was going to chop it, get a few moments to get clear of it, and then it would break behind me. The best laid plans of mice and men, of course, didn't quite work out the way I expected. Oh, man. Let's see if we can't pull that off with a little bit more grace next time. We did notice, like, we fell onto something, though. Like, there is clearly a ledge. Yeah, like a tree. And a ledge there. Man, I wonder if you can survive that drop. I don't have any of my spells attuned anymore, but I could go, like, cat ring and try for it. Accordions? I haven't seen you guys in a while. Huh. Now, if the original Painted World had a certain fascination with crows, I wonder if this one is pointing us towards the same thing with the Corvian race here, or if they have any, connection to like the goddess Velka, anything like that going on. There we go. Trying to hit it without, catapulting myself into my own doom. Interesting. Now, why would we want to do that? Oh, it's gonna make a... yeah! That's why we'd want to do that. Who needs a cat ring when you can just slide down a bridge? Alrighty, alrighty, I'm okay with this. Nice, nice icicles there. Not looking deadly at all. Alright, nothing in that direction. I saw the branch from up above, and I think we're about to get acquainted with it from down below. Ah, you, my friend, are an enemy. But now I've come right up against the same thing I I said earlier, where I don't like the idea of those one-way drops. I wonder if this would take us to, in effect, the same location, just a different way of getting there. Rhyme moo bloss clump. Yes, rhyme blue moss clump. Okay, let's stay on the up and up, at least for now. See if I can't clear out what is up top. Like, the more and more, hey, here's a way to go down that I run into, I feel more and more like this is the way to eventually be headed. But clearly there's something up ahead. You can't just skip the something up ahead. Corvians gave their lives. Oh, hello. Corvians gave their lives for us to come this way. You don't look immediately dangerous. Can't lock onto you. Cool armor, bro. Really cool armor, actually. And whoa, I dig it. I totally dig it.
Well, well. You're Lady Uria's Lord of Hollows. No bell tolls. And yet, you've slipped into the painting. Oh, no matter. If you've lost your way, the words of Lady Frida will guide you. Now, go on inside, show respect, and listen carefully.
Two things. One, Lady Frida, that's a new name. Also, he knows who we are. Uria's Lord of Hollows. Wonder if he has different dialogue if we haven't pursued that questline at all. Also, that voice actor has the most badass voice. Like, there is a low bass rumble that is just awesome happening there. Hollow Gem. Interesting that that would be there. He didn't seem terribly pleased about our connection to Uria.
What's keeping you? Go on. Right inside. Show respect. And let Lady Frida speak to you.
So it seems odd to me that the hollowing sound would be right there. Are a fan of big doors, aren't we? Ooh. Another bonfire. So soon. Door that way. Got quite the art collection in here, Lady Frida. What? They're all just paintings of her? Okay. I mean, sure, everybody's got to have a hobby. Does that look anything like any of these rings? No, not really. Or I don't have them all. The tiny rounded one sort of reminded me of the face of like a knight's ring. Alright, well, just in case. Try lit and... Headless statues seem to be a running theme throughout Dark Souls, huh?
Welcome to the painted world of Ariandel. I am Frida. I have long stood beside our blessed Father and the rest of the forlorn. But forlorn thou seemeth not, Lord of Hollows. I know not the missteps which led thee to this painted world, but thy duty is all, and thy duty lieth elsewhere. Return from whence thou camest. I presume it visible to thee? The bonfire here in this room. A meek and faded thing, but 'twill guide thee nonetheless.
Not terribly dissimilar with our first meeting of Priscilla in Dark Souls 1, where she tells us, be gone from this place, right?
Ah, yes. There is a thing thou shouldst by rights possess. A remembrance of this cold world for the great Lord of Londor. May it help thee bear thy duty.
A Chillbite ring.
Now, return from whence thou camest. Thou'st a place in that world, and that alone is cause to rejoice. Now, thou'st...
Okay. So the painting is for the forlorn. We are not forlorn. We have a place in the real world. Assuming that our world is the real world. I'm looking for rings, right? There we go. Chillbite. Increases frost resist, as you might imagine. This ring would never grace Frida's hand. The painting and its frost became her home. Huh. Okay. Meaning she doesn't need it. Very nun-like attire. Huh. Okay. Okay. Well, and from here, I think we've been presented two options. Never mind. Shortcut for later. We were presented with one option. Up. I liked up, remember? I was planning on going up. This isn't exactly what I had in mind, but, you know, more or less. Huh. Okay. What is this place? It's just like craft and materials for more paintings of her. Although this particular painting looks like it might have seen better days. Okay. I may live to regret this. No? Nothing? Ooh, that shattered. Was half expecting, like, the painting was keeping her young and beautiful, or something along those lines, and that destroying it might irk her slightly. What is the purpose to this place? Alright, so step one, punch everything. We're looking for destructible objects and illusory walls. So far, coming up a little bit empty on both counts. Huh. It's literally just for show? Why would that be? Chekhov's painting. You know, you don't put a painting in the first act unless you intend for it to go off by the third act. I don't know. Something like that. Well, that's a little bit odd. Nothing happening up there. What about these paintings? They seem a tad bit more resilient to our attempts at destroying them. Huh. I wonder if that's supposed to mean anything. That these are not destructible objects. Probably reading too much into it at that point, right? Ew. That one's almost on fire. Actually, a few of these look like they're her on fire. Is that perhaps why she has no need for a frost-resistant ring. It's only those few, right? One's over... No? No? Definitely on fire back here, too. Okay. Yeah.
Now, thou'st to...
And that's all she's got for me. Don't want to resort to just smacking her with an axe just yet. Although, again, likening her to Priscilla from our last visit to the Painted World, that was, in fact, how you fought her, was start the boss fight by just punching her in the face. What about you?
Lady Frida has spoken, has she not? Then tarry no longer and be gone. Carry on. For Lady Uria and for Londor.
Well, maybe he doesn't dislike us as much as I thought.
There is one thing you should know. Inside the cold painting, curiosity could be your cross. Stray from the withering flame, and the snow will swallow you whole.
Good tip.
There is one thing you should stray.
They have both encouraged me to return to Uria. I wonder if she has anything to tell us. It seems odd that this... Like, we've seen the side of this building, and it stretches on for quite some distance. But all we have access is to this small receiving area. Hello, birds. Tell you what. Okay. So, leaving here, our option basically looks to be down. I'm probably going to take the tree branch route, as it seems a little bit more hidden, perhaps. But before I do that, I think I'm going to head back to Firelink Shrine. Yeah, and we've even got... There's a door right here, right? Like, I mean, we've got to be able to get into the rest of this. I'm going to head back and have a discussion with Uria to see if she has anything to say about these people. Regardless of the answer there, yes or no, we'll probably wrap up this episode then. But otherwise, curiosity is going to, you know, be my cross and all that. So I at least want to have this quick question answered for me before we go. Uria is going to be off over here. And what do you got for me?
Thy scent beseems most familiar. A sweet fragrance, long faded from our own bosoms. How this came to pass I know not, but take heed. Kindness can wear upon one's principles.
Okay.
Our lord and liege. Knowest thou of a maid named Anri? She is hollow, and will join thee in wedlock. A fellow of mine guides her at this moment. When the time is ripe, thou mayst make thy salutations. For what lord taketh no spouse?
Okay, good to know, but we have actually beaten the final boss of the game and kind of missed our opportunity for that particular questline.
Our lord and liege, knowest thou she of that? For what lord taketh no spouse?
That's all you got, huh?
Link the...
Okay. Fair. Well, that was a little bit of a red herring. I first expected, you know, when she spoke of our blessed scent and that she knew not how we could have it, I was half expecting her to somehow recognize our visit to the Painted World. We'll have to wait and see if that matures into anything more. I think that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, feel free to subscribe. There's lots more on the channel. Leave a like or a comment if you have anything to say about this or any of my other videos, and I will catch you guys next time.